Alright, here we go. Ooh, alright. Should be good. Now I have to check if I'm actually streaming. That's the fun part. Okay, it is working. This is
Yeah, I just got a notification.
sick. Ever since like those 5 times it didn't happen, I'm always concerned it's never gonna happening. Let me actually get
That's
out
fair.
on YouTube because I don't know who it was last time. Someone was like, I can't believe you were streaming and you didn't fucking tell us. I was like, listen, man, I forgot it. What?
Questioning.
I know it's a default. And Sen
Okay.
is
Well,
also
I too
here.
am always questioning.
You know what, Sen? You're right. I'm always questioning too. There, now I added it. Now, if someone says, "Oh, I didn't know you were streaming," incorrect. It's right there. It's actually right there, son. You know what I'm talking about? Can you relate?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you able to relate?
I am.
I had a feeling such was the case.
I can always relate to that.
Oh, now you get to see my ads. Isn't that awesome? Okay.
Yeah.
There is actual steps for Eternium. I have actual, like, steps to get Eternium. So I do legitimately have a plan. It's not a great plan. I actually really only need one thing. I didn't know you were streaming. Reigns, I can't... Listen, I don't know if it was you that last time said that. Because last time I was, like, streaming on YouTube, like, I guess the last time I was streaming on YouTube, I very much did announce it. Well, oh, I know, I didn't fucking announce it on, I did not actually announce it on YouTube. Or on my, Discord. I did announce it on Twitter, but I realized I should just do it on my Discord first because it's like this is the thing. But also, hi Rains, how's it going? I literally just woke up like give or take 30 minutes ago at the doctor's office. Want to say hi? How's it going, Phoenix? You guys are gonna see some real
Oh my
shit
gosh.
because literally the steps for me to get Eternium. Actually, no, I'm gonna write this down because this needs to be done like this. Hold on one second. I'm legitimately gonna like step by step this. Okay, so steps to get Eternium. It's like step 1 is get the books, which includes Infinity, which is still hold on. Another shot. Okay, mending. Jesus Christ, protection 4, and then fuck. What was the last one? I was unbreaking. I think 3. Create Eternium arrow. Mass produce arrows. Extract Eternium. Okay. I think this is conclusively it. Yeah, use your Discord, man. Be sure to play it heavily with each other so I can watch it back and later and swoon. Oh, don't worry. That comes by we don't even think about that. That just comes by default. I can assure you. But Sen's also like in bed and tired, and also has like dog cheese in their eyes. So you know they're
Oh,
in pain.
cheese in my eyes, crazy.
I'm I'm sorry, Sen. Not dog cheese.
Mm-hmm. Now my eyes swollen, so I'm taking the day off, yeah.
Yeah, Sen's eye is swollen from not dog cheese. There we go. All right. So if anyone needs to know the steps to get Eternium, this is what I have to do. However, in order to get Infinity, I have to basically just keep soloing Maledictus over and over again. Because I need to get the levels, and this is the fastest way I, as a human being, can accomplish the levels. Because I need the levels to get the enchantment. So you're gonna see a lot of this. I was gonna say Sen is unusually quiet, yeah. Sen's in bed, and they're, like, resting right now.
I'm here to support my wife.
Thank you very much, Sen.
Yeah.
It sounds real quiet. That's intentional by them. I'm doing good,
Yeah,
by
I'm
the way.
just
How are
not
you
feeling
doing?
good today. Yeah.
I'm doing good, Rains. Rains, normally I stream at like a god-awful time for you, I feel like. So this is good that you're here now at a not god-awful time. You a human being? No way, I know. It's incredible. I forget too. The worst part about this is I'm probably not gonna get too far, step-wise, before I have to get to work. And it's actually gonna suck
Really?
balls. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's literally random chance that I get infinity, so... There is a degree of, like, complete randomness in this. I should've gotten random, stupid. I don't even know if it has to be a pure infinity book, too. Yeah, oh, Jesus, okay. Yeah, I don't know, even if it has to be a pure infinity book. There's a good chance it, like... You know, because sometimes when you enchant stuff, they, like... The enchantments kind of mix together. So there's a somewhat chance that I have to deal with some garbage. Yes. Okay, where is it? Alright. Yeah, if you want to know the extended list, basically, I had to kill Maledictus over and over again to get experience. Then you have to use that experience to enchant books. I'm pretty sure you can get infinity from an enchantment. I'm pretty sure you can do that. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure because I'm only seeing it put on a bow. What was the teleporter name? It's Maledickface. I didn't name it. This isn't my teleporter point. I didn't even find this. Yeah, I didn't find this teleporter point. Someone else did.
I questioned it too.
I
Don't
think it was
worry.
Drake. I think Drake found it. I can't even ask Drake. Drake logged and logged off. But I'm kind of sure it was Drake. It wasn't me. It might have been Spoofy. I don't know. Might have even been Phantom.
It was not me, I can tell you that.
Yeah, could have been Sten though. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to be doing this a bunch and over again. So you guys are gonna see Maledictus die a lot. Now you might be thinking, oh man, you're so powerful, Zen. How did you're just killing Maledictus like this? Well, that's because I realize now, after doing all the Cataclysm bosses with, like, the amount of power I have right now, comparatively speaking, Maledictus is actually fairly easy, because he can be affected by a lot of status effects. It wasn't as hard to realize in concept, because we didn't have too many things giving certain status effects. Like, we had slowness, right? We had slowness, and slowness is whatever. I mean, it's good. Don't make me wrong, but it's like it's whatever comparative to all the other crap in like this in this mod pack. Because in this mod pack, we have stuff like cleansing, cursing, rooting, rending. We have a whole bunch of random garbage, and Maledictus isn't really immune to that. Some of the other bosses are. I had found out. Basically, any of the non-super humanoid bosses, which is there's a large amount like Leviathan. There is, another monstrosity. Those guys can't be affected by certain things, like imprisonment, which is the thing that's kind of like mostly holding them in place, or like everyone to some degree is affected by root, but you just have to find the right spot. And Maledictus is really easy because he's humanoid. I've also pretty much gotten this down to a science. I mean, even if people knew how to do what I'm doing, like you still have to actually execute it, right? And even the way I'm doing it right now, there still comes at a high risk that I just die if I make a mistake. Yeah, everything comes at a risk to some degree. Like, I'm doing it really fast because I'm confident that I know I can do it this way. It's like watching a speedrunner doing something and then you're like, oh, like, I see how he does it, and I just have to do it myself. But actually, because, listen, there's so many things that can go wrong. I can assure you, I've done this here, actually, I can even show you how many times I've done this, just to prove that it's, yeah, you just don't make a mistake here and you're fine. Just don't make a mistake, Smile. Yeah, I've done Maledictus 198 times. Actually, oh, this is perfect. I can do this 2 more times, and then I can take a screenshot and show people the insanity I've been doing. But I assure you this part's gonna be the boring. You know, the funny part is almost every step of getting Eternium here is gonna involve fighting Maledictus at some point in time. Like, I'm not even joking. I can't be joking less here. At some point in time, every step to get Eternium involves me fighting Maledictus. Like, I can't even be less joking with you. So you're gonna see me fighting Maledictus a whole lot of times. Oh, shit. Okay. See, look. I made a mistake. This is definitely not Maledictus' day, I can assure you. Yeah, see, look, I sidestepped the arrows instead of using the dodge mechanic, because if I use the dodge mechanic, I have to waste stamina, and if I waste stamina, then there's a chance I can't pull off an eviscerate. So, I've like kind of min-maxed a lot of the movement tech too.
You're so cool.
Thanks, son. I want you guys to know that my Maledictus killing addiction is reached the point that it's leaked into some of my other gacha games. Like, I play PGR pretty actively still, because I fucking love playing as Virgil and Dante in PGR. I hate that has to be, like, the offset for me doing it, but that's just how it is, you know? I can't control that. What is fantastic, I love it. I finally feel back to form. Okay, I think after this run, assuming I survive... Yeah, I've also learned pretty much all of Maledictus' attack patterns and which ones I can, like, kinda survive and which ones I definitely can never survive. There's basically 3 attack patterns you can never survive if you're hit with them at all. There's the one that you saw that if he grabs you, yeah, this one here. If he does this, yeah, and then I have to wait till his hands are completely non-red anymore. Okay, and then this one I can attack him too. Okay, he lands, so I can survive this. He swings here, I step a little bit to the left here, and then I just stab him. Yeah, and we're good. See? Everything's good. The only thing I've been playing is Umumusume and Tekken and some Stardew. Dude, have you been doing the Taurus Cup? My Taurus Cup experience is so weird. I feel like I'm having, like, the strangest Taurus Cup experience. It's kind of demonic, because I was put in a group B, right? And so a lot of the horses I'm using are, like, you know, I don't know what division I'm in specifically, but I can't use any, I'm in the part where, like, you can't use any horses that are above B grade, so I can only use B grade horses and below, which I have quite a lot of. So, like, you know, I've been preparing a lot of my I didn't read properly because I didn't know that was going to happen. So I've been preparing a lot of my I've been training horse girls, and most of them are B+. So I had to, like, retrain some horses to try to, like, barely be B. Like, I was training a gold chip to, like, barely be B. But surprisingly, the horse that's performing the best out of all my horses is a Daiwa Scarlet that I have. That's like my worst Daiwa Scarlet. It's like my 5th worst Daiwa Scarlet. And, like, she's, like, outperforming everything. Like, she's basically been carrying me through the entire Taurus Cup. And I can't, like, reproduce something similar to her because I don't know what fucking drugs I was on at the time. But, like, she's like absolutely, she's like barely, she's literally like 3 points off from being B+, and it's amazing. It's kind of fantastic if I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a little funny. I don't even know how to describe the experience fully.
Hey babe, did you screenshot your Maledictus number?
Oh my god, you're right, Sen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at that. He's killed me 43 times though, so it's not exact all the time, you know. Like I can make a mistake here. I don't know if the chance for getting infinity is. Okay, oh, life's still 3. Okay. Either way, I'm getting good enchantments here, so. I still don't know what agility does. I have enchantment descriptions on, so I know what a lot of these do now. But I still don't know for certain. You know what, actually? Hold on. Oh! Okay, well,
What?
I forgot. That one's my bad. I realized what happened. Well, okay, we're gonna have to do something a little bit different right now. Fuck me.
Oh my god.
Alright, god damn it. Damn. Okay, I forgot I have disintegration on my, yeah. Son of a bitch. Well, crap baskets. Alright, we're gonna have a real fun time doing this real quick. I have an ad. There we go. Yeah, I'm the one without any limitations, but I didn't really need to prepare for it, so my only image that carry me is Agnes that I have built with guts. That's funny. That's actually really funny, I'm not gonna lie. I've actually been I'm gonna take a screenshot of this later and I'll post it on Twitter or some crap, but I have like a specific, I have a very specific, not team, how do I describe this? I have a very specific loadout that I call, I like to call, experimenting in the dark arts. I think it's really funny. It's basically like, because I have a lot of guts. I have a lot of guts cards, like special guts card, like SSR guts cards, and I have no fucking clue what to do with them because I mean I just don't like using them, right? Because I'm one of those people that like I'm a guts fearer, you know. I see, oh my god, the guts. I stay away from that. So I have a whole ton of them though, and so I made one where it's like all of them. So it's just like 6. It's like 5 guts cards. It's like it'd be like 6 if I like do this for it, but okay. I think this is the bare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this looks insane, but I think this is exactly what I want. Somehow I think this is exactly what I want, despite how fucking crazy this looks. I reached the A group, by the way, and I have no idea, but I don't think I'll reach the finals. I'm in A group right now also. I don't think I'm going to reach the finals either. Ever since I hit A group, a lot of my matches have all been pretty close. Also, ever since I hit A group, I feel like I've only seen a nice nature every single game. And I ain't too happy about it, but that's definitely what's happening. Yeah, I get nice natures every game. It's fantastic. I love it. Fantastic. Dear God, okay. I wonder if there's optimal book placement for these. I don't even know for sure. Okay, oh, what I just put in here. What was this? Alright, back to killing Maledictus. You guys this might just be me killing Maledictus for like 2 hours. I'm not even joking. This is what this might turn into. I might just be killing Maledictus for 2 hours, which is also kind of funny in its own way. Creative League has full them, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I saw a Twitter post the other day where it's like, oh, I hope, he's like, if your guys' Taurus Cup is going well, just remember I'm out there. And it's a picture of like this guy with like a nice nature, and like he has like 5 debuff skills in every like position slot. Like 20 full debuff skills, and it's fucking insane. I was like, it's just crazy. It doesn't matter what position you are, nice nature will find you.
That's some true nihility stuff.
It is, yeah. Okay. Can you pull the bed out then? Because he's gonna try to walk in here.
I know. Can you lift it for me? My back really hurts.
Okay. I'll just move it. One second.
Yeah, just move it in the dining room.
Alright.
Then like close to me. I'm gonna walk through that.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, Greater League is full, and to be fair, I also have one out. I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, oh, I don't want to... Yeah, it's actually crazy when you mention it, Sen, because no matter where you go, there's, it's really funny that there's Nihility units in Umamusume. Which is kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. If I was playing Uma Musume, I'd be doing that because I'm a shithead.
So what you're saying is you should play Umuzume so you can make an ability in it?
Yeah, I am the Nihility gamer, to be honest with you. I think my eye swelling's going down slightly.
That's good. I absolutely just disrespected Maledict. We were just having a full-on conversation. I don't think I even got hit. That's just how it be sometimes.
You're just that guy.
Remember when we were after the Leviathan fight the other day, and Momo was like, "How am I one-shotting her with the sword, even though she can't one-shot anyone else with it?" Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about telling them the secret to the power. I feel like at this point, I think it's okay. I don't know. I don't know what the reaction's gonna be, because once they know how to do it, I feel like it's gonna be a debate where if they even want to keep it. But I feel like in order to do it, it's kind of an insane thing. Like I feel like you have to be able to do Maledictus to like this degree in order to even figure it out. What do you think, son?
I think it's fine to elaborate on it. I mean,
like
even if you said, I think it's,
I mean, because even if I tell them this, there's a chance it might not even like. I mean, you know what I mean? Once I tell people how to do this, I give them, access to the knowledge. But even then, it still comes with the caveats. Like, it consistently does not work if you travel between dimensions. So, if you want it to work fully, you have to stay in one dimension, and you have to keep restarting it over and over again. Like, it comes at a lot of downsides that you have to kind of keep doing, like some, just upkeep. But I mean, if you build muscles, obviously you have to like work hard to train them. So it's kind of the same principle to some degree. What I'm talking, for context, what I'm talking about is, in the business server, I am outrageously powerful. No one has figured it out yet, but I figured out a couple ways, collectively, that you can basically like have unlimited power. I'm not even joking. Like I can't be joking less here. Like you can actually just have unlimited power, right? There's gonna be a certain degree where I become way too powerful, and then people are gonna see I'm hacking, and then I'll have to tell them no matter what, like because I don't want to be banned. But I mean, I'll have to tell them at that point. But I'm thinking, what's a good time to tell them? Because once I tell people how to do this, like the entirety of how everything is done completely changes. Because I feel like that's all people are gonna want to do. Well, I feel like that's at least what fandom's gonna do as soon as I tell, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a particular method, Reigns, in order to becoming infinitely stronger on the server. It only works on this version of the mod pack that we currently have right now. So if they change, if there's a lot of things that if they change at any point in time, the method to doing so becomes completely inefficient. You would still be able to do it, don't get me wrong, but it would be completely inefficient. Like a lot of the steps that I do here in order to do it becomes like widely inefficient. It just doesn't do anything. I love how you play games like me where I want to find that one loophole to reach heights. Yes. It's not the first thing. I want you to know it's not the first thing I did when I started playing on the business server. It just kind of happened by accident. Like I just happened to notice it. I'm surprised no one else has noticed it. And I guess if someone has, they've kept it quiet. But this is like concept where like this is exactly like concept where like I don't know if I want to tell people because it might become one of those things where it kind of gets ruined. Not my whole thing, but one of the things I didn't like on concept is that there is like 3 big secrets of like ultimate power that I was basically like keeping quiet because I knew the second if I told anyone about it, it would be like someone would take a look at it and be like, oh, we have to ban this, So I mean, because obviously if you have power and you want to covet it, you don't want to let too many people know, you just want to keep it on the down low. And obviously I was one of those people, so I don't want to tell people, because I wanted to have the advantage, especially when in concept where like the whole initial thing about it is like we're competing against each other and only one person can get the throne kind of thing. I mean that whole thing went out the window pretty quickly, like halfway through the server, because it became like You know, we became more roleplay-esque, and so it's like, I mean, you know, the throne became something more subjective. It didn't really become a prize. It more became like a burden. But you know, in this, yeah, one of them was the Infinity Ham. You know, I think that's a fair thing to say. The Infinity Ham thing was like, if you had Infinity Ham and like a potion, you could mix the potion into the Infinity Ham. And in Incendium, there was a potion that effectively made you immortal for as long as you had the potion effect on. So the key was getting that potion. It was from Incendium. And then you know, you apply it to the ham, you can never die as long as you have the hamming. And for battles, which are pretty sure, you know, for like any bosses, you could pretty much min-max the way you approached it effectively. So like you could basically you could effectively become immortal during any fight. You know, I mean, if you really tempered it, you could effectively have become immortal during any fight, which you know they didn't want. So there was limits put in place on it. I'm not the one that let that secret loose. I believe, you know, I don't want to name names, but I know someone did. Someone did let that secret loose because they use it egregiously. I tried never to use it in PvP ever because the second I used it in PvP, someone's gonna ask a question and I will have to give an answer. And even if I lie to them, they will figure it out eventually. So I never used it in PvP until other people started using it in PvP. Because I don't want to let people know that but someone used it in PvP, right? And they let it loose, and then people were like, "Oh, how does that work?" And I was like, "Okay, well, you know, cat's in the bag. We got to talk about it." You know, it was a bummer, but it was gonna happen eventually. I think another thing that I didn't want people to know about was how good the what is it called? I didn't want people to know how good the daggers were. Daggers were something that was that one was my own fault because I did let that one loose because I thought I saw someone else use it, but I don't think they realized I don't think they realized the degree of what they were using it because no one really paid it any mind when they did it. But I did it during a very vital fight. Yeah, Infinite is fun when applied to PvE, not PvP. Yeah, no, okay, so this one was actually the opposite. This one was an ability that wasn't terribly useful in PvP. But it was like overpowered in PvE. So the second this is one of those things where if you used it in PvP, like no one would really care that much because there's like there's really easy ways around it. There's like really easy ways to get around it. But in PvE, like this basically became the thing that's unstoppable. And you're seeing me use it right now. Like it's so powerful, I'm still using it. But it's basically Eviscerate. Eviscerate in Epic Fight mod, every weapon has some sort of weapon, you know, ability that's tied to it. You know, like, the sword has, like, a sweeping edge attack. If you have, like, a heavy sword, then you can do, like, a whirlwind effect. For daggers, it's Eviscerate. Eviscerate is amazing in PvE because it's an execute, right? Here, check this out. So if you look at, this is a katana, right? And it does, like, you know, if you kind of zoom in, if you look really closely, it shows you how much damage the ability does, which is like 60. But that name, I want you to know all these numbers are a little inflated because it's me. But yeah, it's 60 damage, right? And then, you know, if you hover the sword, it's like, you know, sweeping edge is like 60 damage. But if you look at Eviscerate, it doesn't do that much damage initially, but it does 2 strikes. Look, the first strike does like 36 damage. The second strike, which you pull out, is the 36 damage, also plus like sweeping edge. But it also does 50% of the target's lost health, right? So in PvE, when we have bosses that have 20x health, right? Having an execute that does damage based off of health missing is insanely good. It's innumerable. They didn't do anything. They couldn't do anything about it in concept because number one, even if you knew, it was almost still impossible to do because we didn't have anything to like tie bosses down. So landing a dagger hit on bosses was still extremely difficult. I think only like 2 other people were able to figure out how to do it at the end, which I think was like basically Drake and like someone else. The second thing is, you know, it's like if you do it, you have to ban all daggers. You know, and a fair amount of people were using daggers and were not using Eviscerate. So you'd basically be like, you know, it's like banning pencils, you know? It would be crazy. It would have been such a crazy thing to do. And number 3, it wasn't really affecting PvP that hard. So it's like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Also, it didn't even work on all the it doesn't work on all the bosses either. It pretty much exclusively only worked on like Maledictus. In fact, I think it only exclusively worked on like Maledictus or like any boss you could like actually get up close into. Because most of the bosses had like some sort of thing where you couldn't get too close to them. I mean, you could swing on them, but like they would kind of push you back. Like it'd work on the Wither boss, which I think is Harbinger, and Maledictus. Every other boss was like kind of whatever, because it doesn't work on Ignis. It does work on Ignis, but it doesn't work on Ignis until the third phase. And once you're in third phase on Ignis, it doesn't really matter anyway. So they never did anything about it. But I didn't want people to know too much about it because it's kind of like an easier way to clear bosses really fast. So like once people knew, they would like clear bosses really fast. And then if people clear bosses really fast, they get their boss drops really fast. And if they get their boss drops really fast, everyone becomes kind of really powered really quickly. So that's what that eventually led to. Not everyone was using the method, so that's not really how that worked out. But you know. But I will say it did accelerate a lot of late end gameplay. And that one was my fault because I'm the one that let that one loose because I used it during the Maledictus raid. So when people were like at one point questioning, oh my god, Maledictus lost a lot of health. Who was that? What was that? You know? And I was kind of keeping quiet about it, but then you know I kind of had to open up about it because people realized it was me that did it. You know? So I was like, okay, I know that's Dagger. That's what Dagger does. Because if you used it in PvP, you wouldn't really, like, realize what was happening. Because, you know, the player's health was, like, at max, I think at max we could have gotten our health to, like, 26 HP, which is, like, 13 hearts. I think you can get it a little bit more. I think you can actually... Oh, wait, no, because we have PMMO. So you could actually get it to, like... You could get decent, like, 15 hearts. 15, 17 hearts if you, like, really tried. If you really, like, min-max health gain, you could get it to, like, 17 hearts, maybe. But, yeah, and then, it was just one of those things where... Oh, I'm so stupid here. This is fine. Okay. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get Infinity. I'm starting to think you can't get Infinity from this, but I'm not sure now. I'm, like, questioning reality. Because if I can't get Infinity this way, I'm doing this all for nothing. I might as well just be fishing. I could just be fishing, huh? I could just start fishing. That might be kind of funny. Me. Other dancers may be on the floor. Dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. Ooh, wrong one. Okay, yeah.
Apparently, in general, you can get an Infinity Enchanted book.
You can? So it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
Me, okay.
Allegedly.
I'm debating now, like fishing is somehow the faster method. Okay, no, it's fine. We gotta stay the course. This is how it is. Well, the third thing... Oh yeah, the third thing was the meat grinder. Sorry, I keep getting off track, but the third thing is meat grinder. I didn't want people to know how good... People already kind of knew how meat... Well, okay, Blitzy knew how good Meat Grinder was, because Meat Grinder was, like, Blitzy's exclusive weapon for a while until Sardina had it for some reason. I never really understood the reason why. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to, like, how the lore is being worked out. But, yeah, Meat Grinder is, like, the Harbinger weapon, where, like, how do I explain this? You basically... It's a chainsaw. It's a chainsaw, yeah. It's a chainsaw. It's effectively a chainsaw. Also, it ignores iframes, which is kind of the reason why it was kind of insane. Also, you could the ability activates when you the two things that made Meat Grinder like the absolute worst thing in PvE and PvP is that the two things is you can block while the ability activates, which means effectively if you're blocking and no one is shooting you, you can never be hit. It's pretty much impossible. And if you are hit, the person who hits you will take, like, way more damage than you are. The second thing is that it ignores iframes. So the ability itself, where, like, you activate it, it completely ignores iframes, which is insane. To put in perspective, right, iframes is what is effectively keeping people from, like, dying instantly from fall damage, you know? If you turn off iframes, fundamentally your experience in Minecraft changes to a degree that it can never be unchanged. iframes is the reason why you don't instantly die, basically, when you touch fire. So having something that having a damaging ability that ignores iframes and no matter how much damage it does is always gonna be like the worst thing ever. If you ever watched my 10EN boss fight video, like the secret boss fight video, where like I'm where I'm like the secret boss of Concept SMP, I fought against a couple people that were using the chainsaw. And I don't know if you saw, but like anytime I had to like interact with it, it was like kind of the worst thing ever. Like I found out the way to like kind of overpower it during the fight, but I did not have any real plan going into the fight where if someone was using it. Like if someone started using it during the fight, I didn't have any actual plan as to what to do. Like I was just gonna try to figure it out then and there. And I did, I figured it out. But yeah, there's parts you see in the fight where like someone pulls out the, you know, the meat grinder, and like they kind of like they basically effectively zone me. There is a way to break through it, because the only way to use an epic fight is to block. So the method is you basically just have to break their block, which is something that's easier said than done. But basically, the way I figured it out is the Ignis sword, which is called the Incinerator, like, Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Incinerator, this one. This weapon right here, the Ignis sword, this is the only reason I could figure, this is like the only way I could figure out how to get past it, because the Ignis sword had so much reach, I could effectively attack them without it ever touching me, right? So I could attack their block without it touching me too much. I mean, I wasn't perfect on spacing, but it was the best method I could figure out to like effectively to like, you know, break the block of the Ignis sword. It was really hard though. But that was the only way I could figure it out. The other way is just shooting them, but like I can't just pull out a bow in a 1v3. You know, it's a little bit harder. The weakness is ranged combat, but even then, I mean, it still has way too many advantages that I think is like too beneficial. Like I would rather the item just been banned, which is why I wasn't really saying anything about it, because no one really had access to it. In fact, I heard that they were never gonna give us access to it, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I don't have to worry about it. But then like I saw Sardina running around with it, and then I was like, okay, well, Sardina's running around with it. Someone's gonna probably say something like, well, if Sardina has it, who's like not really effectively, you know, one of the concept SMP gods, then someone's gonna be like, well, why can't we get it? And then everyone's gonna have access to it. And that's kind of exactly what happened, actually. Is like, once a non-mod player started using it, effectively the whole thing would spiral into a point where like, well, everyone else would want to use it. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's just how it is then. You know, I'd sort of accepted it. I was like, okay, I was like, as soon as it happened, that's just how it is. You know, that's just how it has to be. Or that's not how it has to be, but that's simply the reality of it. Is like once it's like I hate saying this because this is kind of exact, but it's basically like when people start making bombs, you know, and be like, oh man, that guy used a bomb. I kind of want to be able to use a bomb too now. And then they start making their own bombs. You know, it's an arms race. That's what it was. It was an arms race. That's weird to say in Minecraft, but it's an arms race. You know, I'm gonna be honest here. Oh, but yeah, it was an arms race. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that, and I'm still not. But you know, I simply, if something happens, I simply have to accept it. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. I actually, you know, the funny thing is we later, after Concept ended, and we were like in the after hours of the server, we were just kind of digging around in the server, we started using the guns, because, you know, server was over. So, you know, we could just use all the band stuff as much as we wanted. But I realized the guns actually suck. I'm gonna be the one to say it, the guns actually sucked. There wasn't a lot of use cases for the guns ever being good, is what we basically found out. The reason why is the guns were either too slow, which meant they were really easy to dodge, or they had like terrible fucking accuracy. The Gatling gun on that version of the mod pack effectively had like no accuracy whatsoever. You could basically, I mean, if you were really close to someone using a Gatling gun, you know, you die. That's just what happens. But the whole point of a gun is that you have the advantage in ranged combat. And I can tell you for certain that the Gatling gun on Concept SMP on that version of Cataclysm gave you no ranged advantage whatsoever. In fact, it was almost actually a hindrance because you'd have to reload it. You know, it's a gun. So you would use it, and it does... You know, it just wasn't worth it, you know? And the assault rifle weapons, or the rocket launchers, were just so slow because they functionally work as a bow. They functionally work as a bow that has explosive arrows. Which means, like, you could just keep... You know, you'd have to pull it all the way back and then release it, and then, you know, I mean, once you know that happens, then you see the projectile, you just dodge. You know, you dodge. And they can be blocked, too, so it's like... You're doing all this effort to block an arrow, effectively. Dear God. Okay, well the good news is I'm getting really good enchantments. The bad news is I'm not getting infinity. So it's possible, I'm just fucked. It's possible. It's all possible. It's all possible. Dear God. Okay.
It's okay, I believe.
I'm basically running a gotcha. Every part of this will be a gotcha at some point, which is gonna... Actually, this isn't even... This is actually the hardest part, because I saw the Maledictus on the preview. I am so sorry, Pico. I know you love Maledictus, but I'm literally... I want you to know that in order for me to do the thing I'm doing here, Pico, I have to kill Maledictus, like, a lot. Pico, I want you to know that I have trivialized the Maledictus fight to a science in this specific mod pack. I've gotten it down to a science. I could actually make a degree about killing Maledictus. I could teach a college class about how to kill Maledictus. This is how many times I've killed him. I mean, he's got a fair strike us on me, but you know, it's okay. I'm just happy to see him. All right, that's fair. But Pico, if you're wondering what is happening, I am talking about concept SMP power scaling stuff while also farming for Etermium. In this mod pack, which is like one of the hardest things to get. Because Etermium, in order to make Etermium, you need to make an Etermium nugget first. To make a nugget, you need all these materials, which because I have all of these, except for like Infinity. Like I just don't have an Infinity book, which fucking blows my mind. I probably could just ask Drake if he has one, but he's not on. This is the last step I need, and then once I do that, I can make an Etermium nugget. I turn the Etermium nugget into an Etermium arrow. I farm arrows by doing the infinity stuff to have infinite Etermium arrows, and then I use uncrafting from the Twilight Forest to mass produce Etermium nuggets, turn that into Etermium ingots, turn those ingots into Etermium armor, and then boom, profit. Eternium's actually not better than anything I'm currently using, but I kind of just want to do it because I think it's a good goal setting to do. Yeah, but I was talking, but yeah, Pico, this is perfect because you know you're obviously we're playing in concept SMP, so I can talk. I was talking about the 3 big power scalers in concept, which is like these are 3 things that I never really wanted people to know about, and they ended up becoming known about pretty quickly. The 3 things were the 3 big things was oh god, what was the order again? Okay, I'm just gonna say them in the order of like how I... Oh yeah. So it was Infinity Ham. It was the Immortal Infinity Ham, right? This is something I was using, and then I didn't want anyone to know, and then it was found out, and then it was effectively banned. Then there was Dagger Eviscerate, which is the thing that like executed bosses basically, which is what I'm still using right now to kill a Maledictus pretty quickly. And it wasn't really banned. It was never really banned or talked because I mean it wasn't really that bad. To some degree, because when it was found out, we were already sort of done. We were already sort of past the phase where like bosses were something that was like coveted as something we really needed to work on. The number 2 part of it is that so many other people were still using daggers as their main weapon and not really using the eviscerate part of it. So I mean, I don't think they could. I mean, they could have obviously. They could have just done whatever they want. They could have banned it, but I don't think it would have been a good idea. I think it would have caused more people to be upset. And then the third one was the meat grinder. I was actually just had a whole meat grinder rant. Yeah, I was having a whole meat grinder rant. I was even talking about how like I was like showing that like if you watch the boss fight from the secret boss fight where people fight me as the secret final boss, it was even something that I had trouble with. And I only figured out how to deal with it during that fight. Like I might not like I'd figure out how to deal with it during that fight because I was like, okay, if someone brings it to the boss fight against me, I don't have any real counter. Like there's no direct counter. But there ended up being a direct counter. So it was a little funny that I was wrong like that. Like I was dead wrong. I was like, there was actually a direct counter. But I mean, you know, it's like, come on. Not the meat grinder. Yeah. No, okay. I'm gonna TLDR you my meat grinder like a rant here. But my TLDR is that I was pretty fine with the meat grinder up until the point that like everyone would be able to use it. Because the only person who had the meat grinder was like Blitzy. And to my knowledge, I was like, okay, well the meat grinder is like pretty overpowered, and as long as only Blitzy is using it, I could like that's fine, right? Because as long as only one person, which is like the god of war, using it, I could like realistically. But then like Sardina started using it. I don't know where Sardina got it. I don't know if it was given to them. I don't know if they just like got the weapon and like no one told them that like, you know, that's like because to my knowledge I thought, oh, that was gonna be Blitzy's exclusive weapon. No one would be allowed to use it. And I was like, and I remember hearing that like technology, like the technology stuff, was like gonna be kind of hands off because it was like they're kind of overpowered a little bit to some degree. And I mean, we found out that wasn't really fully the case afterward, after the SMP already ended, because when we tested out the guns, they were all kind of bad, if I'm gonna be honest with you. they're all pretty bad. All the guns are pretty bad, if I'm gonna be real with you. But yeah, I was pretty fine with like the meat grinder just being Blitz's exclusive weapon, and then Sardina had access to it, and then as soon as I saw that like a player had access to it, I was like, okay, well people are gonna be like, well, why can't I have the weapon? And then they're gonna go out and get the weapon. And then there'd be no real way to like regulate that other than just straight up banning the weapon. But then once you ban the weapon, people already have like people tasted the power of the meat grinder, and why would they want to stop? Why would they want to stop using it? So it would cause more problems banning it after people had access to it. Let's see. Yeah, he gave me whole power. Yeah, at least your armor could be destroyed by it. That, yeah, but that is true. But the whole point of the meat grinder, which was overpowered about it, is that number one, you could effectively block with it while activating the ability, right? So if someone's blocking, you have to you can't approach them with a melee stuff. And if you didn't have certain ranged weapons, there was nothing you could do. The second thing is that it ignores iframes. So if you're going against someone with the meat grinder, they can effectively, I mean, we did find this out, but even if you're wearing like immortal armor, you can still effectively become one shot, right? You can actually get one shot by the armor. If you're wearing full cursing with Prot 4, you can actually still get one shot by a meat grinder if you pull off the Grasping Spire combo while holding down right click to use the ability while having Sweeping Edge. That effectively one-shotted you. We were testing this out in like at the SMP after hours, where like, you know, a concept was already done. We're just in the server digging around. We did find out that you could effectively just one-shot someone like that. Yeah. Yeah, I did learn that we only got the God of Tech as a retcon for the more modern Cataclysm weapons. Yeah. Yeah, so my whole rant is that I would not have... I actually think the meat grinder was I would not have liked the meat grinder to be, like, in any part of... in any part of our weapon set. It's a cool weapon, and I think it's awesome. But I have to agree that, like, I don't think it actually made sense for it to be in the server. Because, you know, we're kind of medieval, and then we bring in a chainsaw, and then, you know, we kind of lose the luster to some degree. But if I didn't want it in the server, I think it was still okay being Blitzy's weapon, because it would make sense that Blitzy, the goddess of war, would have the most advanced weapon. You know, and I was like pretty fine with it. I just wasn't okay with players having it, and then players got access to it, and then it became a little, you know, PvP became a lot more simplified, which I think is the sign of a bad meta. I think the sign of a bad meta is when you see that like 3 weapons are like your go-to solution, which is actually what happened at the end. Because if you think about it, you know, the biggest 3 weapons that people were using was like meat grinder, you know, which is like the harbinger weapon, Ignis's sword, the incinerator, the really big sword. And then people were just like, you know, the third one was just like debatably, I mean, you could debatably argue the third one was like longsword, but I don't think longsword was that big of a deal. And there's so many variants of longsword, I don't really think I don't really count it, because, I mean, there was so many variants for longsword. So I didn't have any real problem with it, because, I mean, there's so many variants of like using it, and it was, you know, it's not that, I don't think it's that big of a deal for longsword. Also, longsword is like a high skill cap, in my opinion, because pulling off the longsword stance ability is like so much harder than it looks. Like it's really something you have to practice. I think Sardina was allowed to have it because like she was a god, but then a lot of people, I know. I didn't like that. I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't like that any other character was allowed to become gods. I think I would have liked a succession. I wouldn't have liked an overwriting because I think I honestly think that allowing other players to become gods kind of ruins. I think it kind of ruins the magic of having like the concept of gods in the first place, because you could just kind of like pop out a new god, you know what I mean? Like, because it gives the freedom for players to become gods, which is, it's kind of cool. It's inclusive. It's like anyone can become a god, but it's also the same thing where it's like, well, anyone can become a god. You could have it in your lore that like, oh yeah, I was a god from previous world, and then like and then I just have that thing. This is how I felt. I would have liked if the reason you became a god is you succeed another god, because we had a lot of gods die, at the end of the day. Like we had, Matcha died, Lapin died and stuff like that. We had a lot of gods like die off, right? I think I would have been more okay if like we had gods that like succeeded them. Like we had a new god of beasts, or we had like a new god of like a new forgotten god. I would have been okay with that. I wasn't really super cool with like people becoming their own unique gods, because I think it kind of overshadows the importance of like having those main 7 gods. Yeah, the story changed a lot as we went through, and I just kind of roll with it. A lot of this is all retrospective, where it's like, oh yeah, that was cool, but like, this one was like, it's fine to talk about now because like, party's already over, and me talking about it now won't really like affect anything because, concept's already over. So me talking about this now isn't gonna like, I don't think it's gonna like be too weird, because I'm not coming at this from like like this was like the worst thing ever. I fucking hated this. It's like I'm talking about this from the standpoint of it's like, like when we get into the new season, this is kind of things I want to think about, Lori. Like if this happens, I kind of want to stay away. From it. Yeah, I really like the idea of us having the main 7 gods, and then if someone became a god, they just basically succeeded. Like, they basically succeeded, like, the position of another god. I actually was really down with the idea that we had 7 main gods, and then we had 7 champions, and then those gods would never fight. We would never have to fight those gods, except for, like, maybe, like, a trial. And then, like, those champions would be the people fighting each other and, like, trying to kill each other for, like, the throne or something. I think that would have been really cool. Oh, sorry, Range. Sally, I have to now get off because people are meeting up, but I wish you great luck with Etermium Infinity. Thank you. Yeah, holy crap. I've been doing this for, like, almost an hour now, and I can't find an Infinity book. I'm losing I might just start fishing. You guys might see me just start fishing. This might be where we're going here. Yeah, I agree, to be honest. Oh yeah, hold on one sec. I know they initially planned for the king to be put into an eternal slumber. I think that would have been cool. I like the eternal slumber idea. I like the idea of having a king and putting them in eternal slumber, for whatever reason. I think it's just neat. Well, I'm biased because I play Kingdom Hearts, and I like Birth by Sleep, and I kind of like that whole idea of like Ventus being put to sleep in like the Oblivion Castle. I think that was kind of cool. I kind of wish Carly became God of Beasts or something would have been cool. Yeah, I would have been fine with Sardina still being a god if Sardina was like, succeeded like the Forgotten God and became like the new God of Wisdom or something. And then like honestly, I actually think I'm like thinking about this now retrospectively, but I actually think now having Sardina become the new God of Wisdom, and then having that being the conflict between that and creation would have been good, because God of Wisdom was effectively the Forgotten God, and having the Forgotten God being like an opposing force against like Creation God, which is like the most well-known god, I think would have made for a really good dynamic instead of Destruction and Creation, because Destruction and Creation are kind of like, I feel like having those as opposing forces is kind of like, I feel like it's kind of I think it's a dangerous pot to be stirring, in my opinion, because when you think of destruction, it conflicts with like, it conflicts with a lot of like the selling points like of a lot of the other concepts. Because creation's like the life giver, right? And destruction would be the life taker. But then when you think of the life taker, you used to think of like, oh, well, what takes life? War. So I actually kind of didn't like that in the fact that I think it overshadowed the importance of war, because war is like conflict, and conflict leads to death. But then you have the god of death. But then, you know, you have destruction, then you have to like, okay, well then there's death and destruction, and there's war running around, and then you have to start thinking about like, okay, well which god should I be more scared of in some senses, and it becomes this whole deal. And then you start pondering the idea, well, it's like, okay, well if anyone can become a god, couldn't that mean that anyone could become also their champions? You could have a champion of destruction and champion of like love and stuff like that, because you know Kaneko also became a god. I know Rami became a god. I actually think, you know, I'm starting to think about this more. I think this whole thing happened because of Rami. Because Rami was like the god of, I don't know what Rami became the god of whatever, like his whole, because Rami was like, I know like Rami was making a deal like behind the scenes and stuff like that, and I was like, you know, that's that thing, and one thing is one thing and one thing is another. But I actually think that whole thing happened because Rami was allowed to become like a god of whatever. I literally don't remember what god Rami was the god of. Like I can't even remember off the top of my head. I kind of wish Sardina became the new goddess of war. Athena was an okay character. Yeah. No, okay, yeah. I actually think I agree. Fuck, well, fuck. I hate that we're thinking about this now instead of, like, before then. But, I mean, we can't really control what people want to do, in some sense. I think it's fun to talk about it now, though, where we, like, you know, party's over, we can talk about how the party should have gone. But I think, I think I would have been more okay with, like, gods succeeding, or people succeeding gods. Because I do know that, like, it looked like that some people didn't want to play... You know, everyone gets to a point... Well, not everyone, but some people get to a point where they don't want to play their own character anymore, and they want to play something different. You know? Or, like, they want to change the direction. So, I kind of would have liked if, like, we... Like, I think... End of the day, I would have liked if we just kept the main 7. Like, I think just people keeping around those main 7. I don't like that we had extensions. We haven't got included in the lore since he was going to be gone after that point. Yeah, I heard that, too. I heard that was, like, a big reason why, like, I thought they let Ram do stuff, is because, like, Ram's not gonna be here too long, so, like, you know, let him have his fun, and I think that was okay. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I think a huge part of why the Rami boss fight didn't work, though, is because we never fully explored how some of the weapons work and some of the interactions. And I think specifically it didn't work because I remember one of the biggest crash reasons was because Rami had the Backstabber. Well, but the Backstabber is like a Cataclysm weapon that's in Cataclysm, that's like not a part of the main mod pack. It's like, it's a hidden weapon basically, right? And it was never tested properly because every time Rami went into epic fight mode, or every time Rami went into fight mode with the weapon, it would crash the server. And I guess that was just never tested. Which is crazy because also I don't think Rami was actually an epic fight person. To my knowledge, every time Rami actually took a fight seriously, he would always go into vanilla combat mode, which is fine, but like, I guess that means they literally never swung the sword at all in epic fight, which is kind of crazy when I think about it more. The Zweihander, that's what it's called. That's what it was. He was the god of sacrifice, and Azor was always a part of the world, just as the lesser god. Yeah, no, I'm still. Listen, I understand like the lesser god. I'm still like I've become an extremist now. Now that I think about it, but I'm becoming extremist in the sense that I actually still think like if we had main 7 champions and then people succeeding gods, I think that system would have worked out really well. Because you could have the idea that like pretty much anyone could like become anything here, you know. Like I bet if someone asked, they could have become the god of, like, donuts, and I think that would have been funny, but, you know. You start to get to the point where, like, some things become too ridiculous and it's hard to take, like, seriously. Yeah. I mean, since we're on the points of, like, things that, like, should have gone better, I kind of want, here, I don't want this all to be, like, I don't want this to be, like, a whole fan session, so I'm gonna actually talk about things I really like that happen in Concept. That was like, I thought was like done really, really well. I think the things that were done really well, specifically, was how the team system worked out. I think specifically the way that we all had to like, were forced basically by bingo well, we weren't really forced because at the end of the day, I don't think there was any real like, I don't think there was any like punishment. Like there wasn't any direct punishment for like not doing the bingo tasks. Like, obviously, it, like, builds up to a different thing later in the line, but, you know, it's like, there was no real punishment for bingo tasks, but I like a lot of the bingo tasks basically encourages, like, hey, you have to make a base, and like, hey, you have to do this with your team. I thought that was good. I think the bingo was good. It was a shame that we had to like stop doing it as often. I can understand why though, because it was a little overwhelming having to do like a weekly bingo, and then some of the bingos was like fucking get 400 fish or something like that. I think turning into like a bi-weekly bingo was also probably like a sketchy idea. But it's kind of hard because I feel like if it's either a week, it has to be the month. Like but then we only have 3 months, so then you only have like you know what I mean. It's kind of hard. It would have been pretty hard to balance bingo, but I really liked bingo. I think bingo was neat. I liked a lot of the events. My favorite one is Dungeon Blitz. Dungeon Blitz was like the best event. I think Dungeon Blitz was like the top of the line event. Obviously, I have a bias because like I'm a combat person, or you know, in inherently. So like, you know, I like combat, and Dungeon Blitz is like you know, you're fighting. But I think Dungeon Blitz was amazing in the sense that like we ended up like interacting with a lot of other teams. Like I think Dungeon Blitz was like the first time I legitimately talked to like most people on the server. Like Dungeon Blitz was the reason I started talking to more people on the server. Like I think there would have been no other reason, because why would I talk to anyone else on the server if like my whole goal is to like beat them? You know? Because you know that was at the point where like we're like fighting against each other's as teams. So like why would I want to talk to a person I'm probably gonna have to like fight, or like, you know, or like what if we're manipulating each other and we betray each other later kind of thing, you know? Like that's not something I want to have to deal with. But that, you know, so, but I really like Dungeon Blitz because there's like, it kind of all mutually worked out for everyone in the sense that we got to work together, and it was kind of, I think it was cool. I just think it was a cool thing to do. It was good. I sure we were incentivized to do more dungeons. Yeah, I agree as well. I think the, I mean, I'm doing a lot of thinking, right? So, because obviously a lot of this is conjecture. So to some degree, I'm obviously wrong. But I will say I think my guess as to why they didn't lean into it more is because not everyone was a combat person, which I think is a shame. But you can't really force someone to do something they don't want to do. I mean, you can encourage them and you can give them a lot of incentives, but end of the day, if someone doesn't want to do something, you can't force them to do it. I mean, this is Minecraft. It's not it's not slave labor. You know, you can't just force someone to want to like fighting. And you can't, you know. Which is why I think a lot of the bingos were good, because you kind of found everything for everyone. You know, you had some stuff that involved like killing things. You had stuff that involved like building stuff. It was kind of like an all-rounder. So it kind of felt like included every type of Minecraft player without unintentionally like leaving anyone out, because someone always had something to do if they wanted to. And but I think in Dungeons incentive should have been like. I think I agree with you. I don't know what they would have done, though. I'm trying to think about it right now. I can't imagine what the incentive would have been. Because if you make the incentive too good... If you make the incentive too good, then it kind of... you know, it kind of forces everyone to try to have to do it. You know, it becomes a gatekeep for rewards, if that makes any sense. Like, if, like, you get, like, totems or enchantment books from, like... doing dungeon blitzes and stuff, then the incentive would be like, well, if I want to survive more, or if I just want to get a better fishing rod, I would have to like do dungeons. And if you're someone who doesn't want to do dungeons, you're not, you know, it's gonna suck. You're gonna feel like you're going to work, which is not what I feel like they wanted people to do. Again, I'm guessing though. Yeah, I like dungeon, but I think it was my favorite one. Because yeah, it was my first time realizing that Galaxia was not a feat VTuber. They were an actual Galaxy person. Because every interaction I'd had with Galaxia before that is that they were like sentient feat. To my knowledge, before I met Galaxia, I had assumed they were a sentient feat VTuber, and I was just gonna roll with that. Like I was gonna be like, that's okay. I was gonna be like, yeah, they're sentient. Yummy Rewards, I think it would have been fun, yeah. It's kind of hard. It would have been hard to try to balance that for too much. Yeah, you had to give them something that people wanted, but not something people needed. And I can't think of too many things like that in Minecraft, because to some degree, if you want to do something, you need something in response. Like, if I want to build a house, I need building materials. Or if I want to get stronger, I need, you know, armor and weapons. It's hard. I mean, they have a year to think about it, you know? They have a solid year, so... I mean, I'm talking like I'm gonna be in next season. I don't even know, you know? Like, I have to go to the application, but I don't know, for sure. You know? What is this? Oh shit, I forgot about this part. Okay. Yeah, I'm making a lot of assumptions. I'm making the assumption I'm gonna be in next season. I don't know if that's gonna be the case, you know? They could easily reject me. I don't think I'm guaranteed in any way, shape, or form. I thought some people were because, like, what is it? Because, what the fuck was it again? Because, like, the team thing, but I don't remember them, like, telling us that they were gonna keep doing that, so I just assumed they weren't. Because I remember the whole thing for, like, I think you'll make it, you're in Phoenix's list. I hope I'll make it. If I make it, then that's awesome. If I don't, then, you know, I was like, okay, you know. Obviously I want to, but, you know, if I do, then I do. If I don't, then I don't. I've become that part of my life where, like, if something happens and something doesn't go my way, I just sort of have to accept it. That's a lot of how I live my life nowadays. If something doesn't go my way, yeah, I was like, okay, it happened, you know? This is how it is. Obviously, you know, I'll feel extremely different about certain things, but end of the day, Minecraft is about having fun. And if I'm having fun, that's awesome. Also, I
We've
kind of...
reached different states of fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, fuck it, we ball. You know what I mean, son?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, shaved tomatoes online. Oh, okay. It's tomato. Maybe he's not. I got luck. Oh, God, Jesus Christ! Enchantment table. Possible enchant. I gotta look this up. I have to look this up real quick. I need to know I'm not losing my fucking mind. Enchanted books. Okay, disenchanting. Okay. All right. This tells me. Wait. Okay. This tells me if I can get this. All right. Please, dear God, infinity. Okay. What the fuck? Is this a new enchantment? Oh, this is, yeah, I'm stupid. Okay. Okay, so I can't get infinity from fishing, at least. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, well, hold on. Prevents consumption. Okay. Wait. I mean, that's enchantment. Wait. Okay, hold on. Summary enchantment. Each enchantment in the table below includes attributes that are possible for the player to acquire legitimately. So other combinations are possible in creating machines. So I can get this. I'm assuming if it's on this list, this means I can get... No, because no, you can't get this one. So if it's a treasure one, you can't get it any other way. But if it's not a treasure one, you can get through an enchantment table. So infinity is not a treasure one, which means I can get it through enchanting, as I have to assume. Hold on, is there a way for me to, like, min-max the combination of my fucking enchantment table? Okay, I'm going to infinity has no skin fan loading on running. Come on with commands. I don't know. Bone chain with blah blah blah. Okay, I see. It didn't tell me for sure. Okay, I don't know. I'm staring. It says I cannot, but that's on current version. I'm on 1.20.1. Hold on, let me just ask. Tomato, can you... Oh, wait, Tomato, do you have an infinity book? I'm losing my mind. I'm not sure what's real anymore. If I do this for 2 hours straight and I don't get an infinity book, I think I might lose it. Okay, if we do 50 more books and we don't get infinity by then, I'm gonna message Rick and see if he has one. I think I'm just getting really unlucky. I'm getting unlucky to the point... Yeah, okay, I'm getting unlucky to the point where I'm questioning reality. It's a level 1 enchant. Yeah, that's just crazy. How am I not getting it? Wait, if it's a level 1 enchantment, does that mean I should downgrade my enchantment table? Is that what I should be doing? Okay, I'll do one more Maledictus and then we'll go back and try to enchant. Alright. Does level 1 imply that it would be easier to get? Enchantment mechanics. Hold on. There's an enchantment mechanics wiki page that I can look at. Okay, applying monster enchantment. Oh god. Okay, I'm reading math. I'm seeing equations. Layout here, enchantments with any number of bookshelves from 0 to 15 and 10. Layout here, enchantments with any number of bookshelves. Okay. I see. So I could do it this way and this would work. Huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Applying the mechanics. There's two modifiers based on a certain range. First modifier is based on enchantability. The number between 0 and half. Enchantable then adds a number plus 20. Wait, so if it's a... should I have less books than around my enchanting table? I think it's worth a shot. Do I have anything so... I think it's certainly worth a shot. It could also be the possibility that it can be put on a book for the table. The unfortunate part is the recipe needs the recipe for Etermium needs it to be on a book. So either way, I'm gonna have a problem if that's not the case. Ah, crap baskets. Okay, let's see. Alright, I'm gonna... You know, actually, I have another enchantment table, I think, somewhere lying around. Maybe I can just... If not, I can just build one. I'm pretty sure I have the materials. Do I have another one lying around? Oh, dear God. I really should organize this. This is terrible to look at. Kind of lose... Oh, I do!
I'll organize it soon.
Thank you, Sen. Wait, there's a book in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Infinity, son of a bitch. How did I gotta look up the C book? Oh, whatever.
I swear I had an infinity book at one point. Did we use it or something?
I don't know. I wouldn't have any reason to. Yeah, we don't have one currently though.
Hmm.
Do you have one at your house, son? Can I check your house?
You can check my house, yeah, but I don't know.
I think it's at least worth a look, because I'm starting to get to the point where, like, I'm questioning reality itself. I find your Uchigatana collection. Okay, well, it's not in here. Why do you have this guy bent over here, son? What are you doing with this guy?
It's meant to symbolize you. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. You got me there.
I wonder what happened to it then. Maybe I'm just full of shit and I don't have it.
Nah, you'd win. Dance the night away. Do dance the night down. I'm gonna Google best way to get a fucking infinity book. I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright, let's see this. Minecraft. Best way to get an infinity, but this isn't crazy. These are things I've never Googled before. Okay, as shown by JDMC on YouTube, the best way to get an infinity enchantment is by trading with villagers. Fuck me. This actually might be how I'm doing it. Oh, dear God. Dear God, is this what we're... Oh my God, is this what we're actually doing? I'm debating in my head which one is faster, if me doing the enchantment table is faster, or me farming, or me rerolling villagers. And I unironically am at the point where I think rerolling villagers might be faster, and I'm not really sure how to... I'm not really sure how to cope with that.
Mostly process that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find a villager, and then I have to find if I have a lectern. I think I have an extra lectern. Here's one, yeah, okay, here's two. Dear God. Dear God, Sen, what is this? What has this world done to me? Okay, I need to find another villager.
I didn't think you'd descend like this on the Eternium quest.
Hold on, I can do it at night. I don't want to do this during night. I'm gonna check all the villagers that Drake has in his villager gulag, and then I'm gonna go see if, because maybe one of them randomly has Infinity, like as like a secondary enchantment, and it's because this would save me a lot of time if that's the case. I've never checked because I never thought villagers to be a solution. You know what I mean? Like that's just never something I've processed. Okay, smite 5. Okay, spellfire 4. Absolutely insane if true. This is gonna be crazy. Okay, efficiency, fire aspect 2. Do we have a second? Why these guys hurt? Fire aspect 2. Efficiency, fire. Okay. Oh my god. I've had so many new Google searches lately. How to get Infinity Book in Minecraft. I mean, because normally if you want Infinity, you just enchant the bow with Infinity. You know, it's not really something I think about often. Okay, Thorn. Okay, I've traded with enough of these guys that I think someone has to. Okay, fuck me. Of course. Protection. Okay, no. Actually, while we're here, I might as well get the protection because I need this. This is one of the ones I need, but I don't really have yet. Pretty true, did I say that I can't have a clue? Every passing moment, I surprise myself. I'm scared of flies, I'm scared of cat. Blocking 4 is crazy. Does anyone use blocking? What does blocking even do? Doesn't tell me, son of a bitch. Son of 3 bitches. Okay, wait, there's another... Looting 3 knockback with this. Sweeping edge. Oh, damn it, okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think I just coughed up some skin.
Jesus Christ, babe.
That's how... Hey, that's how they get you though, son, you know? I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's one eye. Okay, self-touch, mending, spell power 1. Damn it, okay. Fuck. I'm coping. Yeah, the thing is I just have to get this. Oh god, I'm gonna reroll villagers, aren't I? Dear lord, I'm gonna turn reroll villagers. Oh god. Actually, now I think about it, the solution, yes, it's not so easy, but it's definitely decisive. Fuck me. Okay, I'm coping a little bit. Let me see. Maybe I can just randomly get it here. I need lapis 1 second. Okay, we'll do it until we can't get Living Jam anymore. God, I don't even know now. I'm questioning reality life itself. Come on. Throw me a bone here. 1 bone. 1 bone? Okay. God, if you've ever loved me. That's a mistake. I made a mistake. That's fine.
Jesus.
I know. I put too much on. That was a lot to put on a person. Okay. I like so many of these things, though. I took my love and I took it down. I climbed the mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills. Well, a landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean of tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Whoa. I'm trying to think. Uh-oh. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I'm getting older too. What the fuck? Okay. I won't question it. Okay, one of these guys are farmers. You're a farmer. I'm gonna break your thing here. You're no longer a farmer. Get back. Over here. No, no, no. Oh, come on, do it. Yes, okay. Yeah, I would have been crazy on the first try, huh? But time makes you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I'm getting older too. Oh, funny. You're real funny, aren't you? You're a funny guy. If you climb a mountain and you turn around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, a landslide brought me down. And if you see my reflection... I fucking gonna lose my mind. Yes. Well, maybe... Well, maybe... Is it ground slam 1 again? Ugh. Well, maybe... The landslide will bring... Oh! We're gonna get help with these.
Did you get it?
Yes, I did. Holy shit.
Let's go.
That didn't even take that long. Fuck me. I should have done this in the first place. I'm getting a couple because I think I need these for other recipes later down the line. But that'll be a later thing. I'll remember you here. Actually, hold on 1 second. What the fuck? Okay. Crazy stuff. Dear God, that was so much easier. Find the infinity guy. Ha 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 ha. Okay. That'll be fun for future me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That'll be future me's probably figure that one out after that. Alrighty.
I love you passing the baton to future you all the time.
Yeah. Yes, I guess to see this
Making problems.
live about how many times I love causing future me problems. It's fantastic. Okay, we need infinity. Okay, let's actually start doing this. Oh, I'm kind of hyped. Okay, we need infinity and breaking 3 protection 4 mending. I'm pretty sure I have all those. Okay, I was saving these. Protection 4 and breaking. Yes, okay, we have all 4 books. We need 2 anvils now, so we should make those. They have to be fresh anvils. Unused, uncircumcised anvils. So we need 6. I think mathematically I have enough for the blocks. I'm gonna have to get more. Oh, wait a minute, that just works out. Of you once in a moon when I hear your favorite tune. And after a year or 2. Okay, this is really hard because this is like the one thing I cannot fuck up. I'll think of you once in a moon. Because the only way to obtain this item set is you have to survive an explosion of at least 80, which is like almost impossible. There is a way I could do it, but I mean, it could kill me. You know, end of the day, I could get it, but it could kill me. Okay, very. Okay. I need. Wait. Oh wait. I didn't. Oh. Okay. Say hello again. And we've been doing no time just to get over them. Things are staying the same. That's how we got staying. I'll think of you once in a moon when I hear your favorite tune. And someday after a year or two, maybe then I'll be loving you. I'll think of you once in a moon when I hear someone that looks like you. Okay. After a year or two, maybe then I'll... Okay, we have Etermium arrows. Alright, now we have to do something absolutely demonic. And we have to hope this works. Oh, okay. Okay.
What is the demonic thing you're doing?
Alright, I'm infinitely replicating the arrows. Because, Sin... I need to see if the extraction process even works. If the extraction progress doesn't work, this was all for nothing. I'm not even joking. If this extraction practice doesn't work, this is actually all for nothing. I'm a little nervous because I don't know for sure if it works because I know for some of them stuff it doesn't work at all. Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me update this. Done. Okay. Done. Done. Okay, now we need to see if step 4 even works. If step 4 works, we're okay. Okay. Oh, we did it. We could infinitely replicate Eternium nuggets. Oh my god! Guess what we have to do now, Sen? Guess
What do you have to do?
I have to kill Maledictus so many times.
Why?
Because I need the levels. Because you can't uncraft unless you have the levels. Oh
my
dear
god.
God, dear Lord, kill me! Alright, let's do it. Dear God, the humanity. Dear God.
You tell me you don't like killing Maledictus?
That's the thing, Sen. I like it too much. That's the thing you have to know about me, is that I might like killing Maledictus too much.
That's the thing I have to know?
Yes. I think I'm becoming addicted to killing Maledictus, which isn't good, because I have too many addictions right now. One of them's in call with me.
Oh, I see. How very smooth of you. Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Kill me. Alright, are you ready for this? I don't even know how many times I'm gonna have to do this. I'm debatably thinking how many times I actually have to do this. You never heard me. This is ridiculous. We just happen to have a lot of good things in this mod pack. Like, if there's so many things that have to be like aligned for this to work. One of them has to be the fact that like, this is
Twilight Forest, right?
But yeah, I could not have done any part of this without Twilight Forest. Twilight Forest wasn't here. Like a lot of these like schemes that I have going on just do not work. If we make one Eternium ingot, Sen, that's the goal. The goal of this stream is to make one Eternium ingot. Okay, let's just do this for a bit. This will save me a lot of time later on, actually. Holy crap. If I want you to know, Sen, at any point in time, if the server rolls back from what we just did, I might cry. Okay, this is gonna have to be the last time I kill Mount this for now. I think I'll be able to rest easy. Oh, we did it, Sen. We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Yippee.
Oh, we have a single ingot of Eternium. It's beautiful. Infinite
proud of you.
possibilities. I don't
Good
even know what
job.
the fucking Eternium. I'm assuming it's an anvil. Right click in GUI to open. Okay, well this is a while away. I don't actually know what we'll be able to do with this. Wait, holy shit! What can you do with an Eternium anvil? Who knows? I'll never know for sure. Well, I mean, I'll not never know for sure, but well, I guess anything you do on an anvil, you can do on an Eternium anvil. Huh? That's interesting. But then the possibilities are endless. They're infinite. Oh my god.
That's why you had to get the Infinity book.
Dear God. Dear God. You're right. Fuck. Son of a bitch.
It's okay. You did it. It's done. You did it.
Alright. I think next time that I stream this, we might be just farming Eternium. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And now it sits there with the rest of them. Oh god. Okay, well that's gonna be it for now. I gotta go to work in like an hour. So I'm gonna get ready for that. It's gonna be a long Monday. I have a meeting today too. But we got Eternium and I feel like that's what matters. We did it.
Yay.
Alright, thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for everyone watching in the future. It's been fun. I hope you liked me talking about things until the end of the heat death, sudden death of the universe and stuff. By the way, you should apply to concept. It's pretty fun. That's my tagline. That's what I'm ending with. Have a good day.